Please mind the gap between the train and the...
Whatever. Welcome to the Punkio podcast, the show that brings you unsigned punk music, regular interviews, news, reviews, and more. Thanks for tuning in and subscribing. Let's jump straight in. Here's your host, Tim Marshall.
Welcome everybody, welcome to the second episode of the Punkio podcast. Today we have a guy called Sebastian on, who actually got his own podcast called The Loud Spot. So tell us a bit about yourself, pal.
Man, so I do. I'm so excited about your podcast, but I do have a podcast called The Loud Spot, and we play bands all over the world, metal, punk. I even do some reggae, and whatever sounds good, I play it, man. Whatever sounds good.
Sweet. Sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah, so I've got some great bands on today as well. We've had a lot of submissions for tracks and stuff, and I'm sure you're the same. You get them all the time from, all over the world. I think I've got 4 countries today, potentially. Could be wrong. A few from US, a few from UK, and a couple more. So, yeah, we'll definitely get into that very, very soon. But, so how did your podcast go this afternoon? Because you were recording one.
Well, it was this morning.
This morning for you.
Look. I had a band called The Catapult on. They're a Swedish-based band, or Swiss, and Switzerland also based. And look, I'm so hungover today. I was like, fuck, man, I gotta get up and do this podcast. My wife woke me up, and I'm like, shit. So it wound up being really good, though. Normally, I do the bands on my time. So fuck all you European motherfuckers waking me up early in the morning to do a podcast.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, there was a bit of a time difference there. So, I do apologise for that. But hey-ho, we got to do it. We got to do it. So, I just wanted to point out, I've got my first bit of merch, obviously, my Punkio podcast mug.
That, dude, look, that is fucking awesome. And I have face masks. You have a mug, but you guys drink, you drink coffee and tea and shit like that. I don't do that. But
no.
but you're look, the way you marketed yourself, like you took the time to prepare yourself to do a podcast.
100%, yeah.
I did not prepare myself. I just said fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. I mean, I think I originally started thinking about it. It must have been mid-October, and then obviously, when was it? It must have been about a week before. Obviously, the guy on the podcast submissions group said that I was a fat white guy, middle-aged fat white guy that wanted to listen to music, punk music. And I thought, you know what, this is fucking brilliant. I'm going to use this to my advantage. And why not? So let's just do it.
That was so smart that you took that and you went with it and made it like your little, like it's on your Facebook page. It's part of your logo, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. The cover photo, yeah.
That was so smart that you did that. I mean, dude, I have a little bit of tears in my eyes because it's so fucking funny.
It's great. I love it. I really love it. It's honestly, it's brilliant. I thought that some companies really do take the negatives and change them into positives, and I thought, you know what, let's do it. It's going to be good. I mean, I'm not middle-aged, but
I mean, kind of. What are you,
33? So
yeah. So.
Not really, but
it's getting middle-aged. I'm 38. I would say that's more middle-aged, right?
You're getting there, closer than I am.
Is it like over 40 that's middle-aged?
I think so. I mean, I reckon about 40, 43, 44 potentially. I don't know. There we go. Anyway, should we jump into the first track?
Let's do it, man.
Okay, so this first band, they're from the UK, and they're between 13 and 15 years old. I told you about these guys.
You did.
And honestly, absolutely incredible. Like how they make this kind of music at that age. I'm very impressed. So let's jump straight into it and just play it. It's flipping good. It really is for their age anyway. So here we go. Let's do it.
explodes out of the roof. Childhood dreams are torn to shreds. Screams call out in our heads. Smashing hopes and seeing the truth. Happiness blows out of the roof. Childhood dreams are torn to shreds. Screams call out in our heads. Smashing hopes and seeing the truth. Happiness blows out of the roof. Childhood dreams are torn to shreds. Screams call out in our heads.
I mean, honestly, I'm sorry, but for 13 to 15 years old,
Look,
that is good.
I will tell you this. For 13 to 15-year-olds, that's like really good. You know, if they were like 30, you know, but for 13 and 15, doing something like that, that's fantastic, man. You know what I'm really excited about? I'm really excited that I get to be, this is the first time I've ever been on somebody else's podcast. And I don't even know what to say because normally I'm in the lead. And so now I'm not. And it's,
You got some competition, dude.
I do, but it's kind of fun to get asked the questions and not asking the questions. It's kind of tough. Kind of tough. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be. So
Yeah, no, 100%. So yeah, that band were called Revivalry, and the song was called Bullet. I actually thought it was called Bullet Studio at first, but then I realised it was a studio version and not Bullet Studio. So yeah, honestly, really good. So one of their mums actually sent that through to me. She obviously saw it in one of the podcast groups or pop punk groups or whatever and popped it through to me. Yeah, I must say, I'm so impressed with it. I really am, and I thought it was really, really good one.
you know, a lot of bands send songs to me, and it'll say Final, but the song name is not Final. It's the final version of that song.
100%, yeah, 100%. I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, don't know. Yeah, there we go. Right, so I'd say we'll just jump straight to another one. We'll talk about something after this track. I've got some ideas to chat about some stuff. But this next track, they're a band called Martyr For Madison, and the song's called Myopic, or Myopic. I'm not quite sure how to say it, but they're like post-hardcore kind of emo quartet, and they're from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Time turned it back on me.
God, that group are brilliant. So, yeah, from Grand Rapids. I'm getting kind of like... Go on.
Band, what's the name of that band?
Martyr For Madison. So Martyr and then for Madison, Madison.
Man, look, if those guys listen to this podcast, I hope you tag them in it. I want to say one thing. That was really impressive. I like that style of music, and the singer had a great voice, the drums, everything about it was really good.
100%. I was getting really kind of, if you've heard of them, like Hawthorne Heights kind of vibe.
Yes. Yep.
100% from them. Yeah, I really, really like that.
What are they doing? What are they doing sending fucking you songs in the UK? Send me your songs.
I know, yeah. Go on, you can have them as well. That's all right. We'll share. It's fine. It's fine. I don't mind, honestly. But yeah, so just about Grand Rapids bit, I'll just say why not for the hell of it, because people like to get to know me as well. So I was actually in Grand Rapids when I was 18. I did a camp, like I was a camp counsellor, a place called Camp Manitoulin. And yeah, that was epic. I absolutely loved that. I wish I went back, but I never did. And yeah, it was good fun. So looking after kids and stuff all summer, it was wicked. I loved it.
You know what I love about you, Tim? Is I call you a lot, and then you always say you can't talk on the phone. Like, I can't talk on the phone right now. You're always doing something. You're always doing something.
100%. Yeah, I like to keep myself busy. Definitely like to keep myself busy. Right. So I wanted to jump into something that you mentioned in one of your last podcasts. It was about like anxiety and music. I just wanted to kind of jump on that and say, for me, it's been a massive influence for me with anxiety, and I'm sure with 100% others as well. And I'd obviously love to get, if there's any experts out there that want to get on this podcast and talk about how music can help with anxiety, please jump out to us.
I have a book I just bought, and I can't think of the guy's name right now. I have the book though in my living room. He actually writes a book about punk rock and drugs and anxiety and kind of how to cope with that. Man, I should go get the book right now.
A few moments later.
This book is called You're Crazy, First-Hand Accounts of Mental Health Struggle, Addiction, and Trauma from the Punk Scene. And
I saw you posted that, didn't you? Yeah.
I did. He's going to be on my podcast, I think the 14th or like later this month. Craig Lewis is the guy's name who got this book published. And I haven't started reading yet. I'm going to start reading it later today, but I'm excited about it because mental health struggles and, in the rock scene in general, it creates a lot of great music. And so reading a book like this to relate to that is phenomenal. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I know lots of mates that have massively struggled with anxiety, and music for them as well has massively helped. And yeah, check this book out, guys. Honestly, if you want to have a bit of a read about sex, drugs, rock and roll and anxiety, do it. There you go. Have a read of that one. I'm sure it will be available on Amazon or whatever. So grab it on there and
it is. So how are you getting the bands to send you the music? Are you doing Facebook posts?
Yeah, pretty much. So I usually put about 2 out, maybe 3 out a month for like the submissions just on the groups. So like Pop Punk Kids, Punk Rock 101. I think there's one called. What else? Yeah, there's a few different groups that I'm part of. I try and join as many as I can. Unsigned Punk UK, Unsigned Punk World, those kind of ones. Yeah, just try and join as many as I can, and just honestly, yeah, just put it out there and do that. Really.
Before you started the podcast, you already had Punkio.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a bonus. Obviously, I did have a few bands that I was kind of promoting before, and I got to know quite a few people via that. So I'm interviewing a few that I knew from Punkio before as well, which is really good. So a guy called Nate Flood, so Nate and then FLUD. So I think that's how you say his name. I hope so. You never know. Might be different. But yeah, so I've got him next week actually on the podcast. So
that's awesome, man. I feel like I'm interviewing you and it's your podcast. My bad.
Fine. like to get to know the host. It's fine. Absolutely fine. So I tell you what, we're going to jump into the next one, and this is a very, very different one to what I'd usually play. I think this is more kind of an indie punk artist. So he's a single solo artist. So he's from a place called Kidderminster in the UK. His name's Ian Passy, and his stage name's called the Humdrum Express. Nice. So the Humdrum Express. So yeah, quite a cool name. And the track's called Denim in the Dugout. So have a listen. Tell me what you think about this, Sebastian. It's an interesting one.
He used to wear a suit until he axed it. Found a casual substitute, stone-washed, relaxed fit. From Brazil to Bulgaria, on the touchline and technical area, football managers are wearing jeans. They shelf sportswear, heard rip slim fit looked hotter when sported by Sean Dyche and Graham Potter. An assistant coach in shorts in December is an image I'd rather not remember now. Football managers are wearing jeans. Brendan Rodgers often goes out shopping. The Fashion League is one he dreams of topping. A recent acid wash acquisition turned heads of those held back by tradition. Football managers are wearing jeans. Away fans crudely chanted, what's he got on? Dark blue distress, snug fit, hard wearing cotton. His outfit helped for those in need, from Kenny jacket, Neil Harris tweed. Neil Warnock's flesh flap in the breeze. Steve Bruce cuts a dash in dungarees. No foul committed, the ref says play on. Gary Monk's transferred to spray-ons. Football managers are wearing jeans. 2-0 down half-time at Grimsby Town. His wardrobe and his team get a dressing down. Roy Hodgson still looks sharp in a suit, but wait till you see Bielsa in boot cuts. Excitement mounting on Cup final day. Double denim droves down Wembley Way. A united apparel from dugout to crowd. Rossi and Parfit will be so proud. Football managers are wearing jeans. Football managers are wearing jeans. It's a real game changer. Football managers are wearing jeans. A tactical genius. Football managers are wearing jeans. A victory over two football managers.
I love it. Honestly, obviously we're talking about soccer here. Not football. Soccer.
Okay.
So
I totally did not get that. You know what I want to say is football's better than soccer. But what I really want to say, that band, dude, those guys are good. Here's my question to them. If they were on the podcast, I would say this. In the beginning of the song, they rhyme two words together. They rhyme Bulgaria with area. I want to know which word came first. Like they were going to rhyme with, like were they going to say like what rhymes with Bulgaria and said area, or like what country rhymes with area and then thought of Bulgaria? I'm like, that's what I would fucking ask them, man.
I'll ask him. Yeah, so he's a solo artist actually. So as I said before, he's a guy called Ian Passy. Yeah, I flipping love it. I've never really listened to stuff like that. I mean, yeah, there's kind of indie artists in the UK. There's a hell of a lot of them. You have obviously a few over there, but the main scene for indie is the UK.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So I think he's definitely got some influences there from kind of indie idea, but he's definitely got some punk influences there as well. And yeah, amazing.
Dude, I like the wearing jeans. Like that song really is it's catchy. It's friendly. It's like I'm gonna probably think of that song all day today. Wearing jeans, like I'll probably say that all day. It's good. Hey, I gotta ask you another question. So you're doing the podcast on YouTube, right?
That's right, dude. Yeah.
You were doing Anchor.
Yeah.
But those motherfuckers, like, what they thought you were doing copyright infringement, like you can't play these songs. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit.
Pretty much. Yeah, so I don't get what's going on. So they've taken my podcast down on there. So it's going to be on YouTube for a bit, guys. So we'll see what happens. I'll look into the new year about getting it onto other platforms, but we'll grow YouTube. Come on, let's take over the fucking planet with YouTube, guys. Let's just do it.
How can they tell you you're doing copyright infringements when you talk literally on your podcast about these bands that sent me their songs? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of...
I don't know. I really don't. One's a bit heavier, the next one as well. I think you'll like this one. And you'll love the name of the band.
What's the name?
So they're called Dead Bundy.
Oh, play on Ted Bundy, Dead Bundy. That's cool. Yeah, I dig it.
Genius. Absolute genius name. I love it. I think it's brilliant. So the song's called Get Over It, then brackets, Psycho. So they're from Ohio, just a pop punk. And they've got a bit of kind of, I think, 4 year strong influence because they're a bit heavier than the normal pop punk.
So get over it. You'll never be my girlfriend. Let's go! Grade, she don't know my first name. Text her on her birthday, and she said, who the fuck is this? Joined a rock band, and got my first tattoo. Now she wants me, but I got shit to do. Have you seen K-I-T? Nothing to me. So get over it. Hey, you'll never be my girlfriend. Small fridge snaps me all her tip pics, and I said, what the fuck is this? Crushing on her since I was 17. Now she's crazy, she keeps on stalking me. Have you seen K-I-T? Nothing to me. So get over it. Hey, you'll never be my girlfriend. But she's a psycho. I think I'm psycho too. But she's a psycho. I think I'm psycho too. This is the part where we fuck. But she's a psycho. I think I'm psycho too. Have you seen K-I-T? Nothing to me. So get over it. Hey, you'll never be my girlfriend. Never be my girlfriend. So get over it, over it, over it. You'll never be my girlfriend. You'll never be my girlfriend. You'll never be my girlfriend. 'Cause now I got her pregnant.
Yeah, I love that track. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's definitely heavier than the last one.
That reminds me of Lit meets a metal band. Kind of like, that was really good, man. That was like it's like the Punkio podcast meets the Loud Spot podcast.
100%. Yeah. There you go. Definitely. Yeah. 100%. I mean,
song.
I love that song. Yeah, it's really good. And yeah, definitely some lit kind of influence there. I think it's a good shout, that one. Yeah, I flipping love it. I think it's brilliant. And yeah, I hope to get them on the podcast. I really do, because they're damn good band.
Are you going to be doing band interviews?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So say next week I've got an interview with Nate Flood, the guy, solo artist. So we'll be talking about his tracks, how he got into music, that kind of thing. Then I've got a couple from the UK in December, a band called Slacker, which they're fucking epic. One of my favourite bands at the moment. Absolutely love them. Band called Autumn Fires as well. And yeah, got loads. Absolutely loads.
That is so cool that you're doing this, man, that you get to play music and bands and interviewing. And look, the interview podcasts that I do are like some of my favorite ones. And I'm going to ask you a question like I asked all these other bands from other countries. I always ask them this, and I did it with Catapult earlier today. If I was there right now in the UK, in like 30 minutes, I'm knocking on your door.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, let's go out to eat. Where are you taking me to go eat in the UK? Because America is like hot dogs, hamburgers, fucking pizza, Chinese food. Like they're like Chinese food, and you know I'm an ignorant motherfucking American, so I don't know. But
all right. Well, the main two dishes for a UK person would either be fish and chips.
Oh, I love fish and chips, man. I love fish and chips with vinegar, malt vinegar on it, right?
I'm not a fan of vinegar. No, not for me. No, sorry. Not for me. But we've also have curry as well. So obviously we have a massive influence of Indians over here, Pakistanis, all of those, Bangladeshis, those kind of people. So they all live over in our country. They've obviously brought the curry kind of thing over in the last decades, really.
What about Mexican food?
We've got Mexican food over here. Yeah, we've got some restaurants, Mexican food. So yeah, we've got everything. You name it, we've got it. So
I'm curious to see what Mexican food is like in Europe, because from California to Oklahoma, the Mexican food is different. Like in California, like I remember when I first came to Oklahoma, they asked if I want relish, and relish to me is like pickles, like
Yeah.
Is that okay? But here in Oklahoma, when you go to a Mexican restaurant, they ask if you want relish, and relish here is like carrots, like pickled carrots and pickled jalapenos, and it's not just pickles. So it's and they always say here, do you want queso, like which is like a cheese dip? And I wonder what it's like in the UK, if it's similar or if it's varied. I'm sure like tacos, burritos, all that shit's the same. But like the condiments that go with it, I wonder if that's different there than it is over here.
There's not that many restaurants, so I can't really compare, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I guess we kind of get the tomato relish, what we call it, that kind of thing. The like dippable cheese kind of stuff. Yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant? That's a good question. I quite like the Hard Rock cafes. They're good. I like them.
Oh my god!
Because they play epic music. I love them. We've got one called Bella Italia in the UK, which is an Italian restaurant, and yeah, they do some damn good pizza. So yeah,
dude, I can't wait to come visit you, dude. I cannot wait to come to the UK and come say what's up. Because that guitar behind you, I'm gonna play it one day.
Yeah, I got two. We can play together. I'll have to learn, and we'll play together. Okay. So,
do you play an instrument?
No, I play the piano.
Oh, there you go. That's hard to do, man.
Yeah, but I've got one here, but it shakes. It makes a noise when I touch it. So, I'm getting a new one soon, though, so I'm going to start playing again. So I'm looking forward to that.
The background for your podcast and like my video, like my background sucks, dude. Like I'm in like the back room of a house that we never use except when I'm doing podcasts. You got like a guitar, a picture set up.
Yeah, I thought I'd just set it up a little bit. Yeah, the photo behind it, I told the viewers last week, but it's a painting that the missus made actually. So it's paint by numbers one. So she literally just painted the areas, and yeah, that's what she did. So.
That's awesome, man. My dad just texted me. I heard the podcast. Those guys are really good. I don't know which podcast he's talking about.
Could be any.
Probably the one from last night. What did I do last night? I did a band last night that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how you do so many podcasts. I mean, I'm doing one a week, and you just whack them out.
I pump them out, bro. I pump them out. Oh, I did a reggae band last night. A reggae dude. Look, listen. I'm trying to grow my shit, right? And I only know one speed. My speed is fucking go speed. So when I go, I go. And look, I'm doing one almost every day, it seems like. Almost every day.
That seems like that.
I'm so excited. And you know what? Your format's a little bit more formal.
Yeah.
And my format's like whatever, you know?
Yeah, defo.
But, dude, Dave Standridge, I said it before we started this podcast. Dave Standridge, he has his punk promotions page.
Yep.
He's going to do a podcast also. And I think you and him and I think we make a great team. Like it's super cool to have other podcasters that you talk with and promote each other, man. So that's
100%.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'll 100% get him on when he started his podcast. Give him a few sessions to get into it, and definitely get him on. And yeah, I hope the same with. You're
a natural at this, man. Like when you started, like you put so much time and thought into it. You know, you said you're going to start one, and you waited a month. You had everything set up and prepared, and you know, I don't know how to do that. I just do things. But kudos to you, man. And I think you're doing your first episode that I heard, dude, like immediately you were doing like it was like you've been doing it for a long time. You know? Yeah,
no, I've always been kind of natural on camera. It's never really bothered me, to be honest. And I just thought, you know what, I always wanted to do a YouTube channel. And I thought, why not do something that I thoroughly enjoy to do? I can talk about punk music all day, every day, because it's what I grew up on. I absolutely loved it, say from 12 years old. Started with pop punk. I've kind of got more influenced into like metalcore kind of stuff now. I'm starting to like the heavier stuff like I Prevail, Bring Me the Horizon, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I love it, and I thought, let's just go for it. Why not? I've always kind of stepped back away from it, and I literally said to myself, I'm going to do it.
For a fat, middle-aged white guy, you know, I think you're doing pretty good.
Definitely.
What's the next song?
The next song? Well, actually, we'll do the next song, and then we'll chat about something else after. So this next song is a band called Dreams of Vertigo, and the song's called Typical. So they're from the Orange County, and they class themselves as like punk rock kind of style. So here we go.
I've lost my compass, no more will left to come.
come to find out it was never enough. My heart, it takes one last breath in me. I cannot believe typically to say. My heart, it takes one last breath in me. I cannot believe typically to say.
I love that song. It's actually got a guest artist on called Adrian Estrella as well. He's from a band called Assuming We Survive, and yeah, they're a good band as well. Definitely check them out. So yeah,
So I would say that punk rock in the UK is that like super big? Like it's big and it's like underground big here in America. Obviously, we got a lot of good bands, but is it super big in the UK? Like the punk scene?
it used to be 100%. I think it's still there, but I think it's definitely died down over the last few years. And I hope my kind of influence, my YouTube channel, is going to blow up and bring it back. Let's do it. Come on, people.
Yeah,
bring back punk rock.
Dude,
so, yeah.
The name Punkio podcast, the Punkio podcast, that is such a very cool, unique, like, the name is, I don't know how you thought of that, like Punkio, but it's easy to hear. It sounds good. You know, I came up with the loud spot and I was like in my boxers going to the kitchen to grab like some fucking food. And I was like, oh, the loud, like it just came to me, you know, but Punkio, like that, like everything you do put a lot of time and effort before you wind up doing it?
Most of the time, yes. I think with Punkio, I think the reason I did it was because I just randomly typed in one day on a like URL search page, like punk, just to see what ideas I could come up with, and it said punk.io as one of the pages. I thought, you know what, Punkio, I flipping love that. Let's go for it. So it's stuck, and it's going to be my name for this for flipping years and forever.
How long have you had that name? Was this a couple of years, right?
Yes, it's not. I don't think it's a couple of years yet. I think it's about a year and a half potentially. So it's not a massive amount. I mean, I've got a few followers on Facebook, and yeah, it's good. So hopefully they'll all tune in and watch the channel and build it for us.
What you do and what I'm doing is we're really, even though we have a podcast, we're really promoters. Like we're really, and I know the Punkio was a promotions a Facebook page, right, when you started it.
Yeah.
And doing a podcast, I realized that we're also promoting a lot of bands. And that is it's so cool that we get to talk to all these different bands that send us their music. And sometimes I feel overwhelmed. I do. You know, you have a job, I have a job, and we do this for just for sport. You know, it's a hobby.
Yeah, 100%.
But it can get overwhelming sometimes. And but it's super fun. And getting to listen to music is just, it's like I get to be in the band that I'm playing the music. Yeah. Even though I'm not in the band, it's like I'm in the band for just that moment in time, you know?
Defo. Yeah, 100%. I think for me, that's why I did it a weekly podcast, because I'd get way overwhelmed. I'd probably cry if I'm being honest. I'd be like, no, I can't do that. I don't know how you bloody do it, mate. Seriously. So
I cry every day. I cry every day.
Fair enough. All right, there we go. So let's chat a bit about so your favourite band at the moment. Go on. Who's your favourite band? Who do you think?
Okay, out of bands I interviewed or out of bands that I just like?
Both. Go on.
No, I'm not going to tell you a band that I interviewed because that's fucked up. I'm not going to do that.
Fine, whatever.
I do have one band. Look, I do really like the band last night that I interviewed, the reggae band, and reggae is not my thing. Reggae is not my thing, but the guy on the podcast, Nick Harkson, he was really fun to talk to. And so sometimes it's not the band's music, it's the personality of the people in the band. 100%. That becomes my favorite podcast. And because of that, maybe I like the band more than I normally would if I just heard it. But my favorite band, so I hate when people say, like, what's your favorite band? It's like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite this? I don't fucking have one. It depends
No.
on my mood.
Fair enough.
Like I'm wearing a Diabology shirt right now, which is a metal band out of Southern California. Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm in the mood for metal. Sometimes I'm in the mood for punk rock. I'm Puerto Rican. Sometimes I want to hear salsa music because that's how I was raised, you know.
Yeah.
But I would say I have a favorite in every genre.
Yeah.
My favorite band of all time. If I had to pick one, fuck you, by the way. That's not the name of the band. I'm telling you, fuck you. The name of the band would be probably Rancid.
Oh, what a band! Honestly, yeah, they're definitely in my top 10. I think favorite bands, 100%.
And then I like the Misfits. So you have your coffee mug, and I have. Don't even edit this out. Hold on, because this is a long cord. I have my other favorite. This is unopened. I'm gonna open it right now.
Oh, there we go. Oh, the unboxing. We got an unboxing video, peeps. Here we go.
We got an unboxing.
Oh, that is nice. I love it. Yes.
Misfits. So
They are a
I
good
like
band.
I like Rancid. I like the Misfits. And as far as metal goes, there's so many bands, man. And one of my favorite bands is Sleep for the Weak. They're an unsigned band. But Steven Seward is a buddy of mine, and they're out of Arizona. You know, and if you listen to my podcast, if anyone listens to it, you will hear a guy named Sam McIntosh. He's a band manager for a lot of up and coming bands. Really good, like Jack's Diaries. He's their manager, and God, if anyone likes metal music or hard rock, even punk, we play a lot of punk rock. Listen to our podcast. We have, especially when Sam's on, we have a lot of great up and coming like artists that are about to be like the next big band.
Yeah.
On there, so it's hard to say a favorite band when you play so many of them and hear so many of them.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think just quickly on me. So I think my favorite band is Good Charlotte.
Oh yeah,
They were the first band that really got me into the style of punk rock and
pop punk.
Yeah, pop punk. All right, pop punk, whatever. But yeah, I think just because they were the first band that I heard and they were a massive influence. Green Day as well for me, massive influence in that.
So if I'm gonna tell you a secret right now, then I'm gonna tell it. It's no longer gonna be a secret.
Go on.
Okay? I'm putting it out there. When I was like 21 years old, I used to go to all these different bars, right? Like in California, where I grew up, and I used to wear eyeliner and a bandana. And one time, this girl said, "You look like you're the guy from Good Charlotte." And I said, I am the guy from Good Charlotte. And so like my early 20s, I used to go lying to everyone that I was the guy from Good Charlotte. People
Nice.
fucking look. I'm brown, like I'm fucking Puerto Rican.
Yeah, so, mate.
But they fucking. I had a mohawk, and I was wearing eyeliner, and I was like, I am the guy from Good Charlotte because of that.
Brilliant. Yeah, so I haven't had that, unfortunately. I've definitely not looked like anyone. But
did you ever wear eyeliner?
Only for dress up. when I went to a dress up party or something. Yeah, definitely.
I used to walk into the bars, right? I'd go into a bar and like I would wear eyeliner, and all the fucking guys are like, "Who the fuck's that?" And all the girls are like, "God damn that motherfucker." So I would walk in like. I was the fucking coolest motherfucker on the planet, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't care what the guys think. I'm married now. I'm married and I am old and I'm bald now. So, I have my memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got to have those memories, haven't we? Yeah, got to stick to those. But yeah, I think for me as well, I really want to see a few bands live at the moment. Obviously, I can't because of fucking COVID, and hopefully that will go soon. But yeah, fuck COVID. You're right. But there's a band, artist called Youngblood, a UK artist. I massively check him out. He's epic. So he's more kind of pop, but there's definitely some punk influence there. And yeah, I really want to see him live. Bring Me Horizon, I want to see live. I'm gutted I never saw Linkin Park live. I really am. Yeah. I mean, for me, they're within my top 3 favourite bands of all time. So Good Charlotte, Linkin Park, and Enter Shikari as well, another UK band. Have you heard of them?
No. What are they called?
enter Shikari. So Shikari.
No, you know what? We don't pay attention to the UK over here in America.
No, we need to. We've got some great bands.
You know what I like that you do, and what I don't do is when you're talking, you're always on the microphone, and I'm like,
I try.
Dude. So I'm like, God, I fucking sound like I'm going in and out. It's because I fucking I move around a lot. You know, you're like all sophisticated, and I'm like
sophisticated. Yeah, I wouldn't call me sophisticated, but there we go. There we go. Right, yeah, let's jump into the next one. Okay, so we've got a band called Tears of a Fallen Hero, and they are from Gothenburg in Sweden. These guys. So yeah. Cheers to Sweden. Let's do this.
Let's go.
So the song's called A Hymn for the Broken. So let's crack on and do it. Again, quite a heavy band, but I flipping love them. I think they're amazing. I really do. So from Sweden, you can't really hear an accent again. I think we went over something like this when we interviewed Fastlane in France. Yes, they had that kind of accent, and a band that I played last week as well, they had a kind of similar accent as well. But yeah, from there.
That band, and when you say heavy band, I'm like, it's not, because I got like death metal bands.
heavy for punk rock.
Heavy, you know what? That was good. And you know what was awesome? You were on my podcast when we interviewed Fastlane. And have you reached out to them?
I have, yeah. They're hopefully they're going to be on it. They're saying about February time because I think they're trying to write a few more songs. So
that's a really good like skater punk rock band. They're from France, and when we talk to them, they obviously have a French accent, but their music does not. And I find it fascinating when I interview bands from other countries that their songs are in English.
Yeah.
But English is not their first language. So I think that's super cool that people can do that,
100%. Yeah. It's very clever. It really is. Yeah. 100%. I mean, most countries in Europe will speak English anyway. Obviously, it's not their first language. So being able to write in English.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good. Very clever. So yeah, massive kudos to you guys in the world that can do that. So seriously, well done. It's flipping awesome.
Did I ask Fastlane? I don't remember if I asked them or another band when they're writing their songs, do they think of their songs in like their own language?
Yeah, no, you did ask them. Yeah. And I think he kind of has the gist of the song that he wants to write in French, and then he'll kind of translate it as well as he can. He'll obviously have to try and change some kind of words, but he'll do what he can. And then
every band you've played so far today on this podcast has been absolutely phenomenal, man. From the first one to the one I just heard. So kudos to you, man, for getting some good bands to play, because we got to promote them, dude. You got to get their names out there. You never know who the next biggest band's going to be, and they're not going to get big by not getting shown. And so we have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And I love it.
100%. So yeah, one interview I'm really excited for. There's a band called Glimmers. I can't remember where they're from now, but they're US somewhere. But oh my God, they are flipping amazing. And yeah, I've got the lead singer, a female lead singer, on in January.
I love female lead singers in punk bands, especially, and in metal bands too. It just sounds so. It's fun to hear just because you don't get a lot of that. Someone actually asked me, "Do you play female lead singers?" Like, they emailed me. I'm like, why wouldn't I? Like, no, fuck you. If you don't go, I'm not playing your shit. No.
There you go.
And if it sounds good, I'm going to play it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, 100%. So yeah, Autumn Fires, actually, the band that I was saying earlier, they've got a female lead singer as well. So yeah, honestly, just get me your music, people. Give it to me, and we'll put it on here. Question: are you drinking tea right now? No, it was a coffee. I've finished it now. Punkio mug. But do you have it? When you're drinking coffee, it's like 8:45 p.m. Yeah, I drink coffee till midnight. It doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, seriously, don't bother me. Do you have any crumpets to go with it? What? We don't have crumpets with tea. I don't get this at all. We had biscuits potentially, but biscuits for you are different. So like cookies for you, but we have like rich tea biscuits. They're called. So what's a crumpet? A crumpet? What is it? It's kind of a like bread. A cracker? No, not at all. Oh. I can't explain it. It's kind of like soft bread, I suppose. Okay, what's that thing? I think it's in the UK. It's like French fries with like a gravy over it. French fries with the gravy over it. Oh, just chips and gravy, yeah. No, it's called chips. No, it's called something else. It doesn't matter. Play the next fucking song. Okay. Okay, so the next song is by a band called Life in Discord, and it's a song called You Think You Know Me. They're an emo hardcore band from San Diego. So let's go for it.
I tore the skin off the
Come on in. What do you reckon to that band?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you one thing because it's not my podcast, it's your podcast. So I'm gonna say one thing. That fucking band is my favorite one you played so far. So that is.
Might be. I know it might be. It's your kind of style.
Yeah, dude, those guys fucking rock the house, man. That song. What's the name of that band?
Life in Discord. So LIFE and then in DISCORD. Life in Discord.
Okay, so I know that the listeners aren't going to know this, or the viewers, but because you play like the picture of the band album, whatever, but you're playing these songs for me to hear on your phone. Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
So are you downloading every single band's songs that you have to your phone?
No, so I just play that on Spotify, straight from Spotify. I've got a playlist. I've got an order that I put them in. I actually did that in the wrong order, but who cares? It doesn't matter. But
that band is my favorite one so far, and I'll tell you why. I like how they mix. I love when you mix punk rock with metal.
100%. Yeah.
And that's what they do, and that is. Look, I love a good punk band, and I'm not trying to put any other band down at all. Every single song was good. But if I picked a favorite because it's your podcast, not mine, I'm going to say that was my favorite song so far. Definitely. Very well put together. I wonder if they're managed by anyone, if they're just straight independent, because that band can go places, man.
Yeah, 100% agree. I'm not sure on that answer. I don't know. I'll have to look into it and see. I might manage it myself. Get them massive. Yeah. Let's do it. But yeah, I'm definitely getting like Silverstein, kind of Emery influence there with those guys. And yeah, I love those bands, and I love this artist. I think they're one of my favourites that I've played so far as well.
You know what band disappoints me?
Go on.
You're like,
it's like Good Charlotte.
No, not Good Charlotte. No. You know, look, I'll tell you, and I'm probably gonna get some fucking flack for this, whatever. The band called, and their name's good. I'm not a big fan of the music though. It's A Death Cap for Cutie.
Okay, they're okay.
They're okay. They're a little soft for me. And I really thought when they first came out, like in the early 2000s, I was excited to hear because I love their name, and I was kind of like, oh.
He's in another band, and I can't think now what band he's associated with. But yeah, he's in another group, the lead singer.
With my luck, they're going to email me their song and be like, with my luck, they're going to email me their song and say, play us on your podcast. And
yeah, probably. Oh, there you go. So, yeah, he was the lead singer of the band The Postal Service, if you heard of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I like the Postal Service.
Yeah, so obviously, he's the lead singer of those. Is it Ben? Yeah, Benjamin Gibbard, I think it is.
Yeah,
Ben
Gibbard.
Yeah.
In the UK, you might say Gibbard.
We say Gibbard. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, so I do. I like Postal Service, definitely. But yeah, Death Cab for Cutie. I know what you mean.
If a band is not following you, because I'm going to share this podcast, if they're not following your page yet, which I'm going to try to get every band to follow that I'm with on your page, do you have an email address, or no? You have a thing set up to submit your songs.
I do for the Spotify playlists, but no, for tracks to submit to this podcast, if you just email punkiouk@outlook.com and put the MP3s or WAV files on there, and I'll put them into folders. So organised, dude. Seriously, with my podcast.
I know, because I saw before you even started it, you're like a submission form. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, come on. Email me. I get like fucking 1,000 emails, and then all these bands are messaging me, when you gonna play my song? I emailed it to you like a month ago. I'm like, fuck, dude. I don't know. I'll get to it.
Oh, dear. Yeah, 100%. I'm like that. I mean, I've had so many bands. I've organised it now, so I think I'm ready till end of December for bands. So about 8 to 10 an episode, obviously, that I do a co-host with or I do on my own. And then
I have like 20 more bands this month to interview. Yeah. And you got 8 to 10 bands just to play. I got like interviews lined up like left and right.
Yeah, that's crazy. I couldn't do that. I'd never spend time with the missus. She'd kill me. So.
Well,
But there we go. There we go.
That's why I normally do mine at nighttime though, because my wife and kids are asleep already.
Yeah.
And then I do the podcast. But it's you fucking European ones that get me up early to fucking do this shit.
That's it. Yeah.
But, hey, I'm dedicated. I put 100% in everything. My kids, my marriage, my podcast, my work, everything I do, I give 100%. I don't know how I have time. That's why I never sleep. That's why you see me posting shit. You're like, what the fuck? It's 5 a.m. What's he doing?
Yeah. What's he doing? Yeah, fucking hell, I don't know.
I'm working.
There we go. All right, I tell you what, we're gonna do one more track.
Let's do it.
It's a band called Woolly Boy. It's a song called Through It All, and they're actually from Israel. It's a British Israel band, so the lead singer's British, I think, from what I can get from the kind of vocals. I think he's the English influence. But yeah, they're based in Israel, in Tel Aviv. So yeah, let's do it. Melodic, I can't say it. Melodic, hardcore influences apparently. So let's jump straight into this one. I'll start to play it now. So guys, that was Woolly Boy, so as in woolly hat, Woolly Boy, and yeah, from Israel. So punk rock. I'm not sure on the melodic hardcore influence.
Melodic.
Sorry, melodic. Whatever.
Dude, that band was really, really good.
I'm loving the breakdowns in that. I must say they're very old school punk influenced as well. I think. I felt a bit of Ramones in there, if I'm being honest, as well.
Yeah, I kind of see a little bit of that. Like,
yeah.
Definitely a little Ramone-y, if you will. We talked while that song was playing a little bit. You being in the UK and being very structured, and me being in America and being like very like fucking out there. Like if we started a management company, I think together that would be fucking sick, dude. Because
Definitely.
there's so many bands that I play that now that you just started this, you're gonna be playing that need promotions, like type people and managers. And I don't really know what a manager does for a band. I know they get them shows and try to get them gigs and maybe some recording opportunities. But if that's something that we could do together, that'd be pretty cool, man.
100%. We'll definitely have a chat about that. Yeah, 100%. I like the idea of that. So yeah, I mean, honestly, massive thanks for coming on the podcast today, and I really appreciate it. Obviously, I absolutely loved going on yours as well, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, it's been very cool. Like I said, I'm used to being the one doing the podcast, and so even though it's your podcast, it's like I'm used to doing them. Yeah. So I like kind of sometimes I just start asking questions. It's like my natural thing, but you have a very good thing going, man. Like you're building it great, and I don't subscribe to any other podcast right now but yours. So
thank you. I like that.
Yeah, because I don't listen to podcasts. Like even when I started mine, I don't listen to them.
No, fair enough.
But because I know you and we've talked and I guess maybe a couple months now, we've been in contact maybe. Yeah. That I have a genuine interest to see what you're up to and to listen to what you're doing. So that, I'm excited to hear all your podcasts, not just the one I'm on, but like every single one of them, because I think and everyone should listen to the Punkio podcast because you're playing not just punk music, you're kind of playing a little bit of metal, like metalcore.
Metalcore, yeah, definitely a bit of metalcore. I mean, definitely not too much metal. I love metal myself, but I don't think obviously it's gonna suit this podcast as such. But yeah, definitely, I think I prefer kind of mixed vocals. So if there's kind of the hard, screamy vocals and clean vocals as well, I prefer that kind of thing than I would kind of deathcore stuff. Just screamo totally. I don't mind it, but I prefer to listen to something like Bring Me the Horizon or While She Sleeps, that kind of stuff. So.
One of my favorite punk rock bands I've had as of now, which later this month we're supposed to get like Tsunami Bomb on and some other bands, but as they haven't been on yet. So as of right now, my favorite, one of my favorite bands to talk to is a band called Sonorous Rising.
I listened to that one the other day, and yeah, they were kind of. Well, what did I call it? Scarcore, didn't I? In the messages. So yeah, they've got kind of very ska influence, but then they've got the kind of core from metalcore, and they've got punk influences. They're so different. They're brilliant, really are. So
very good. I like Nothing Short of Tragic. My friend Eric Bones in that band, Sonorous Rising. I mean, there's a lot of bands I could honestly give shout outs to right now, but I can't think of them all because I don't have my book with me, and there's just so many in my head. But yeah, Sonorous Rising was really fun, and maybe you can get them on your show. They're really fun to interview. We had a blast doing that podcast, and if any band that's listening to the Punkio podcast with Tim Marshall, if you want to send me some of your music, you can send it to theloudspot@gmail.com. So,
defo do it, guys. Yeah, honestly, if you haven't listened to Sebastian's podcast as well, do so. So yeah, again, The Loud Spot. It's a brilliant podcast. He shoots out a lot more than I do, I tell you. One every day, pretty much. So yeah.
Dude, I had a message. Someone sent me a message on Facebook the other day. They're like, "Well, I woke up this morning. I didn't see a podcast. What's going on?" And like that happened like 2 days in a row. I'm like, "Can I get a fucking break? Like, can I not just watch a movie with my family and take care of my kids and not do a podcast?"
Definitely, yeah.
It's overwhelming, but but I do one almost every day. I do because I love to hear the music, and it is fun. But like I said, you're way more organized and structured, and you do more editing and make it look better than I do. I just fucking go.
Yeah. Well, because of Anchor being absolute twats and taking me off their server, I'm going to do more videos as well. So kind of just a bit of me, just get to know me a bit more. I'm not going to play tracks in there, and yeah, we'll just kind of talk punk and whatever. We'll do a bit of history of the punk and that as well. So I'll definitely get a few more videos like that out as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
I forgot that this was, even though you told me it's a YouTube thing only, like because the Anchor thing happened, and I forgot that this was a video, and I just have like nothing, like I have some weird fucking shit hanging up over, like nothing over there, just a bar and some weird poster over here.
Fine. I'd like that poster. What is the poster? It's great. I like that one.
It says honor amongst thieves, and it's a skull. It's something up on in old Sacramento when I was down there. But I have like a really cool setup over here with like a Rancid and Dropkick Murphys poster, a Misfits poster, and then a portrait of me playing the drums that was painted. But that's on like that side. I should have set up my laptop to face that.
You should have, yeah. Terrible.
Dude, let's start this whole thing over again right now.
Maybe not. So yeah, I think we'll wrap this up. So yeah, massive thank you obviously for coming on again, and I'll chat to you again soon, I'm absolutely sure, and we'll start this management company and go for it. So here we go. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, guys, and give it a like, comment down below, and I'll put all the band's links in the description as well, and then bits and bobs up here. Maybe your Loudspot podcast, if I can put it up here, I will. So all right. So yeah, brilliant. Thanks for that, Sebastian, and have a good day, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Punkio podcast. Remember, the views and opinions expressed in this show represents those of our guests and hosts alone. Tune in next week to find your new favourite punk band. Hit that subscribe button to never miss an episode.